Okay, it's not pulling up just yet.
Having issues?
It's not launching just yet. Let me.
Having issues?
It's live.
Is it? Okay. All right, what's up, all my gnarly ones out there? It's Gator Mike. We are here for another round of the North American eRacing League's Xfinity Series tonight, live at Worldwide Technology Raceway, as we true fans affectionately know it as Gateway. And with me in the booth tonight, I've got our typical Sunday night commentator with me. I've got K-Bart. How are you doing tonight?
Yourself?
I am lovely. And we've also got a third person in the booth tonight. We've got our Auto Club Cup Series winner from last season. And once upon a time, our Xfinity Series commentator. We've got Mr. Williams joining us for Gateway tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, buddy. I figure I come reminisce with y'all for evening. See how this Xfinity race goes tonight here at Worldwide Technology, as you said, Gateway.
I hear you. Well, we are all in a chipper mood because we actually got some real NASCAR racing in today. So we're pretty excited, pumped up, glad to see that's back in action. But tonight, our Xfinity Series goes to Gateway. And we all kind of saw how that went last season. And to be honest, it was quite the disaster. So coming off of last season at this track, these guys had a lot to fix and adjust for. So, K-Bart, will we see the same disaster that we saw last season, or are we going to see one heck of a race tonight at one of the most technical tracks in the game?
Yeah, I mean, last season is a different race. It's a different group of people last season compared to this season. I think they learned of the veterans who are in the Xfinity Series last year, and then now are in the same series this year. I think they'll have a more experience, more understanding of how the track runs, how to run with each other, and the rookies will hopefully follow suit. Hopefully, not looking for a caution fest, but these guys have been doing pretty good the last few races of not having any caution fest races, or even a few cautions. So I have faith in these guys and of us seeing a really good race.
All right, well, we got 13 drivers in the field tonight. A smaller field here in the Xfinity Series, but not necessarily a bad thing. Small can equal better races. And out of those 13 drivers, we've got 5, a whole handful of drivers that ran this race last season. Those include Lights Out, who was runner-up last season. Got NR Lewis, Cup Series driver coming down for this race, who finished P4. Sharp, who finished P5. Jagboy, who finished P6, and you got Ballistic, who got caught up in the accidents last season and wound up 18th. So I just named off 5 guys. Mr. Williams, you got any favorites for tonight? Maybe your teammate Jagboy?
Yeah, I think obviously Jagboy at this point is the favorite anywhere we go in the Xfinity Series. But I'm gonna look for Lights Out. I think Lights Out ran good here last year. Got past final corner before that caution came out on the back straightaway to lose the win last year. So, yeah, Lights Out I think is going to be good. Jackboy's going to be good everywhere they go. So, yeah, definitely keep an eye on those two as we move forward here this evening.
Absolutely. So out of those 5, Lewis, Lights, Jagboy, definitely heavy favorites, especially Jagboy. He's tied for the points lead right now with OG Info going into this race. So they got a lot to fight for here in terms of the point standings as we wind down on the end of the regular season here coming soon. But tonight we got 90 laps around Gateway. Stage 1 is going to be 19. Stage 2 is going to be 17. Final stage is going to be 48 laps. So fuel window is going to be 32 to 34 laps. So you won't see any pit stops in the stages unless the caution comes out. So maybe a little bit of strategy we can play in the final stage. As they are just wrapping up qualifying, so I'll get you the results here in just a minute. Kyle, are there any guys you have your eyes on for tonight while we wait to hop in?
Yeah, I guess it'd be better to see NR Lewis. I think NR Lewis will have a good night. Oh, I'll be right back. My pizza's here. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, as K-Bart goes to get his pizza, we should be able to Go
I
ahead.
don't mean to interrupt, but yeah, NR Lewis I think will be a good one to watch. Feeding off what Kyle said, feeding off as his pizza shows up. Haha. Yeah, I think NR Lewis will be a good one. Cup call down this evening. I think he showed a lot of speed in the Cup Series, and he showed a lot of speed last year in the Xfinity Series. So I don't know how much practice he's put in, but he should be quick this evening.
Yeah, he's currently in the Cup Series playoffs right now as we speak. But on the pole for tonight, Coach O, as we like to call him here in the North American eRacing League, Sharp, our resident Louisianian, or whatever they're called down there, Cajun, whatever. He's going to lead the field to green as it looks like we can join. So we're going to go blue screen for just a minute. As we go ahead and load into the lobby.
Shout out to Pizza Hut for getting my pizza in 30 minutes and less. So
K-Bart gets a Pizza Hut pizza right before the race starts. And there you see Sharp on the pole. We're going to go ahead and join this live race, as these guys should be taking the green flag right as we join. As we've got you already heard already in the chat bar, as he likes to say hello to all his cats and kittens normally. Our Cup Series winner from Daytona on Thursday night. Swept Daytona for this season. You already heard. As we are joined now into the race, these guys are already green. They're already on the back stretch. They're going into turn number 3. Sharp, your pole sitter, is in the lead, followed closely by the 2 car of Lights Out and the 22 of Jagboy. Coming out of turn number 4, looks like Sharp's going to get a little bit of the momentum on the high side. K-Bart, I guess if you want to give us one of your favorites for this race, you didn't really get to finish that sentiment before you had to go get your pizza.
NR Lewis, I've seen him do really well in the Cup Series. He kicks my butt every race, and I think he's going to do really good. Jagboy, you guys said about his name plenty of times. I can see him finishing a good top 3. And Sharp has really proved himself in the Xfinity Series the last few races, and might be able to see a win from him. But I did the 3. I think I'm going to go with Sharp.
All right, Sharp. K-Bart's taking the guy in the lead right now. As this is a racetrack kind of is pretty similar to New Hampshire. I guess that'd be the most comparable track on this game. So you got long straightaways, you got heavy braking, you got some long sweeping corners. Williams, what's kind of the most technical part of this track to you?
Well, to me, actually, Gator, I would say it's more like Darlington. I think,
Really?
Turn 1 and 2 is super heavy braking, to drive it this thin, way different than you drive 3 and 4. 1 and 2 is super heavy braking, trying to work the center and exit. And then 3 and 4 is kind of a high-speed corner. So I think, to me, it is flat, kind of like New Hampshire. But to me, turn 1 is kind of a dive bomb, opportunity, and turns 3 and 4 is kind of more of a high-speed. Really can't pass there unless somebody makes a mistake.
All right. Well, Darlington and New Hampshire, if they had a baby, it would be Gateway, is what Williams is saying.
I agree with that 100%.
All right, as we still have Sharp in the lead, but we got a new second-place driver there. Jagboy, tied for the points lead here in the Xfinity Series, has made his way up past Lights Out for second place. And the guy he's tied with in points here, we've got OG right behind Lights Out running 4th. So they're trying to figure out who wants to take that points lead in the playoffs. So we are looking at Lights Out right now in that beautiful-looking 2-car tonight. The Hurdle-sponsored Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing.
You see the 22 overdrive 1 and 2 there. I think it's going to be a common denominator all night, Gator. Everyone's going to overdrive 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is kind of easy to hit, but 1 and 2, once you catch that guy in front of you, you're going to want to try to make a move on him, but you'll overdrive that entry so easily.
Definitely, you can overdrive these corners if you're not too conservative with it. K-Bart, what's the best way to run this track, do you think? Obviously, I think the low line might be the fastest, but coming off the corner, you got the high line and maybe even the diamond could be the quickest way around here.
Oh yeah, the low line, how they're running it right now is the quickest. You can see Sharp, he's hitting that middle line right now, and Jagboy's just right here on the bottom, hugging that apron, and that's where you're going to get that. You're really not going to get any much runoff. But I mean, you can diamond it a little bit, but basically you want to hug that bottom line.
As the 22 car Jagboy is sizing up Sharp here for the lead. Hasn't been able to get around him yet, but he's just kind of watching and waiting, it seems like, seeing what that 5 car is doing, where he's gaining time, where he's losing time. Here early on in stage number 1 of the North American eRacing League's
to your point about
Series.
to your point about the diamond, I think the diamond will be more successful in turn 1 and 2 rather than 3 and 4 because it's a lower speed corner. So you can actually afford to kind of overdrive the entry of 1, as you see Jaguar kind of do it there a little bit. But 3 and 4 is so high speed that you're not going to be able to get it done there, I believe.
Yeah, so kind of to your point about Darlington, this track does have 2 completely different ends of the racetrack. They drive completely different as well. Is there one corner that you prefer to set your car up to handle better in as opposed to the other, or is it just kind of the same?
I believe you want to make it work at 1 and 2. I think 1 and 2, lower speed corner, more technical. I think you want to get your car to work more so in 1 and 2, lower speed, technical. 3 and 4, you can kind of get away with a little bit of looseness, as long as you know how to work the accelerator. If you're too aggressive or serve on the accelerator, then 3 and 4 will kill you.
As the 22 is closed right up on the bumper of Sharp as they head off into turn 3. Looks like he's going to overdrive it a little bit, but he's going to try to cut back under here coming out of 4 with a big run. Going to get his nose there right under the 5 cars. They head down the front straightaway side by side. And he's going to duck back in. So the 5 of Sharp able to hold off another attack by the 22 of Jagboy here in the early stages of stage number 1. We're going to go cruise back through the field here a little bit. Find LD Allen 97 in that 8 car. Riding right behind OG here in the 5th position. Currently in the playoffs. With a pretty good gap over the cutoff line, so he should be pretty secure as we get closer and closer to our playoff action. As we've got D-Sprawl joining our chat. Let's go find his car. Right there on pit lane. There's that beautiful 18 Joe Gibbs Toyota. Blew an engine early on here tonight, so now he's going to watch with us. Sproul, unfortunate ending for you, but glad you could join us here in the chat. As the 22 looks under the 5 again.
Lead, yeah.
Going to give it another go, but he's just not going to do it again.
What I noticed, Gator, is I think Sharp lagged a little bit there, but I think Jagboy overdrives the entry just a little bit compared to Sharp on their entries, which gives Jagboy the run off. But it's really hard to pass here. You really have to have the inside line on the guy to get him in either corner. So as that lag looks like a space field out just a skosh.
Yeah, K-Bart, I don't know if you got too much practice on this track, and I know you're eating pizza right now, but are tires a big factor at this track? Do they wear quickly, or is there much of a benefit on them at all?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really had much practice, but I can assume that the tires are a big issue, just like New Hampshire. If the caution does come out, I would definitely come in and get some fresh 4 good ones. But we only do have 5 to go. They should be able to make it to the end of this stage. It just depends, just how. Yeah, I mean.
To the tire wear thing that I noticed, I've tested a little bit for the Cup race tomorrow. I don't know if Cup and Xfinity has any turnover, but I've noticed that. Just like to K-Bart's point, that right rear, man, just like at Loudon, you know what I'm saying? Any flat racetrack you have, you know, Richmond just a little bit, that right rear really just burns off. So as you get off in the run here, she gets super loose off.
Yeah, definitely that right rear does burn up. I've noticed that a little bit. As Sharp kind of pushed wide coming out of turn number 2, got really close to the outside wall, but managed to keep his car off of it and maintain his top spot here as we come down to 4 to go. Here in the first stage. Sharp still your leaders, led the whole stage. has the pole, been out front, and he's hoping to hold off Jagboy here for a stage victory here in stage number 1.
Yeah, one thing, Gator, I've noticed, Jagboy seems like he's got the faster race car, but it's so hard to pass here. And Jagboy, being the race car driver that he is, he's not going to just move up sharp out of the way. He wants to try to get it done cleanly. This racetrack is super hard to pass. You really got to, like Loudon, you got to get that run off of the corner, try to get underneath them, down the straightaway, and then try to work them over into the next corner to see Jagboy overdrive turn 1 there.
Jagboy definitely got a little hot going into turn number 1. That's going to cost him some time, but he's still got 2.5 laps to try to make that time back up as he tries to take the victory here, and 1 playoff point that comes with a stage victory at the end of stage number 1. So that would be that'd be more valuable Jagboy at this point than actual points. So let's see if he tries to get around sharp and pick up that extra playoff point. As we have 2 to go. He's going to try to diamond the corner here, get a low run off, and a good run down the backstretch. Is draft any of a factor here, K-Bart?
No, not really. Just maybe a little bit on the straights at the end, but you're not really going to pull much from anybody.
So draft not enough of a factor here to really help Jagboy close in on that 5 car. As we come down to the last lap here on stage number 1, Sharp with a commanding lead. Barring any mistakes, looks like he's going to bring it home here for stage number 1.
One thing I noticed, Gator, here is Sharp is super comfortable. I think, Jagboy may have the faster race car, but Sharp is more comfortable in an exit. He's real smooth, a lot more smooth than Jagboy. Jagboy has some mistake once in a while where he overdrives the entry and exit of each corner.
Definitely Sharp.
It's just like New Hampshire. You got to be more consistent with your lap time. Doesn't mean you have to be faster. If you're more consistent, you have top 5 car. You're gonna be up there competing for the win.
Definitely, as Sharp, our most consistent driver here in stage number 1, is going to take the stage 1 victory. He's going to hold off the charges of that 22 TJR Ford of Jagboy and pick up another stage win to add to his total this season. I think he's up to like 4. So good points for him. As Jagboy is going to come home P2, Lights Out's going to be P3, LD Allen in 4th, and Robster is going to pick up that final stage point and round out your top 5 in stage number 1. Caution free so far, unlike last season. So,
yeah, that's a big from last season.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. As these guys are trying to make some adjustments to their car here, depending on how their styles are. Some like it a little bit tighter, some like it a little bit looser, but this is their first chance to tinker at their vehicles. As we line up here for the start of stage number 2, Sharp is still out front. Pit crew got it done, and he's going to take the green flag. Cycle back here to about mid-pack, maybe towards the back. As not too much contact was made, a pretty clean entry and exit out of turn numbers 1 and 2.
Yeah, one thing you want to look for, Gator, heading into the I think the outside is going to throw the anchor out. You're going to lose positions. That inside line is definitely preferred position on the restarts.
So inside lane on the restarts might be the way to go. As we are back here with OG Infa, tied for a points lead currently. Well, not after stage 1. Jagboy got some stage points, so coming into this race, he was tied for a points lead, I should say that. He's looking ahead at our Cup Series regular, NR Lewis, who's driving that all black and blue number 76 Toyota Supra. Out of the FBGM stable. Drops down for the Xfinity race tonight. Looking to collect another top 5 like he did last season here at Gateway.
Impressive Sharp. Show our early man, lead flag to flag.
Yep, Sharp still out front. He's got a little bit of a gap over LD Allen, running there in 2nd place in that white and purple 8 car. Sharp looking to stretch it as Jagboy and Allen are fighting it out for second place. We've also got the 89 of Robster back there. You got the 98 of Hostium Hose, our one-time Xfinity winner this season at Talladega.
Reminder, Hostium is on a tight playoff battle with Dalton. They're 8 points separating the two for a playoff spot.
He is the 98 of Hostium Hose. Let's go cycle around to him. There he is. The 98 is in a really, really tight battle on that playoff cutoff line with Dalton, as Williams just mentioned. But another driver that's not on that, or that is on that playoff line that is not here tonight is LL Penn. He's not in the field tonight, so that's going to be a big hit on his points here. And that's definitely going to be a help to Hostium and Dalton as they run nose to tail here. Sharp, if you can see all the way up there, is still in the lead. But LD Allen has closed that gap.
Yeah, Allen's Gator, he's getting a good run in the 1 and 2. Pretty good here as he gets shifted up a bit, but he's getting a good run in the 1 and 2. Really diamond that corner. 3 and 4, he's getting a good run in. Kind of overdriving the entry, but it worked out 3 and 4.
Speaking of LL Penn, like on cue, here he is in the chat. Glad you could join our coverage of this Xfinity race tonight, Penn. It's unfortunate that you're not in the race tonight, but we're glad you can watch. Yeah, so we've got a good battle back here for 5th place between Robster and NR Lewis.
Yep, Penn, that's what happens, you get a penalty.
Oh, big rip. I wasn't going to say that, but K-Bart went full send mode. So still side by side here, Robster and NR Lewis for 5th place. Top 4 single file. Robster's going to wash up a little bit, going to allow Lewis to get underneath and open the door for Dalton.
Yeah, it looks like Jagboy has made his way up to 2nd position, so it looks like Jagboy and Sharp, maybe the cars beat the season. So between these two guys. As I said earlier, Jagboy really overdrives that entry of 1. Sharp looks comfortable through 1 and 2. I think that's going to be the difference, guys.
As two drivers we haven't mentioned, 3, I guess, here in the back of the field. We are going to highlight Young Colt is in the field tonight in that beautiful 19 Menards Toyota. We've also got I2 Ballistic for you. He's running the 11 Ray Bestos throwback scheme tonight. That is one of the best Xfinity schemes on the game, in my opinion. And Marksman, Truck Series driver, got the call up for tonight in the number 7 Junior Motorsports Chevrolet. His favorite driver is Justin Allgaier, so he was glad to hop in that 7 car for tonight.
The best Xfinity throwback scheme to me, Gator, has to be Jeremy Clements in the 51. That thing is so sick.
It is a beautiful scheme. Our driver of the 51, Nick, is not in the show tonight, so we will not be seeing that throwback scheme, but it is a really, really beautiful paint scheme, as you just mentioned.
Jagboy running down leader here.
As we're going to go back up front. You know, once upon a time, Marksman won here at Gateway, back in a truck series in a former league, so he knows how to get around this place. See if he can't make some noise in the final stage. But Jagboy has closed right up on the bumper of our leader, Sharp. Ooh, as he might have clipped the wall out of turn number 4, and it looks like he does. He's going to save it. Cost him less time than I thought it would.
But I wonder how much damage you got there, Gator. I don't know if he affected the race car at all. Once you get damage here, it either push tight or it's super loose. So this goes to the Jagboy here moving forward.
As he tries to regroup and get around Sharp for the first time tonight. Nobody's been able to do that. Trying to get a little bit of draft coming down the front stretch. Not going to get much, but he's trying his best.
Oh, he's there.
He's going to get underneath of the 5 car off of turn number 2. But that 5 car is going to use a little bit of momentum on that high lane and pull Jagboy coming down the straightaway.
As I said earlier, it looks like Sharp's is more comfortable, entry, exit, and just he's able to put the rear tires to Jaguar maybe fight a little bit of demons here. Try and get underneath the sharp end down the straightaway.
As Jagboy looks underneath the 5 car again here in turns 1 and 2. Looks like he's got a really fast car center to exit in turn number 1, but he just can't get the run off of that high lane with Sharp. Sharp pulls him coming up out of that corner. And 3 and 4, they look pretty even. As a ballistic is cut off his stream, so I can't tell you how many laps are left here in stage number 2.
He's the only one streaming too, so
we're going to go streamless the rest of this race, it appears. As Jagboy again looks under that 5 car coming off turn 2. And it seems like Sharp is just more than willing to give it to him. But he's going to be able to keep his nose there going into turn 3. That's the first time we've seen that. Ooh, Sharp kind of pinches him a little bit. Jagboy is going to pass the 5 car. Our first lead change tonight. And Sharp's going to look back underneath here, going into turn number 1. Jag's going to overdrive just a little bit, wash up the track. The 5's going to look underneath. But now it's Jagboy's turn to get a run off as you see the 7 car marksman come up out of the pits. I think he had a little bit of damage from earlier. We don't anticipate pit stops here in stage 2. That's Jagboy, your new leader, as the 5 of Sharp is lagging just a little bit behind him. Oh, that 5 is lagging bad. Got to remember the 5 of Sharp is out in the middle of the ocean right now at work. He's using a hot spot to compete tonight, and that hot spot's having a couple of little moments right now as he looks underneath the 22 car for the lead, not content with riding in second place.
To my point earlier, Gator, it looks like,
Ooh, the 5 sends it in! Yep. Push Jagboy up the track. Just dove it in there in turn number 1. Sorry to interrupt you, but the 22 might be looking to give that back to Sharp here in 3 and 4. And he does. He drives it in there just... Oh, he does give the 5 a little bit of a bumper going into 3 and 4 to show his displeasure. Excitement between the 2 leaders here as we wind down stage number 2.
That's the end of the stage, Gator.
Wow, Sharp pushes Jagboy out of the way to grab the stage 2 victory. Jagboy tried to give it back in 3 and 4, but just couldn't get enough of an advantage. Sorry for cutting you off there, Williams, but these guys were going at it.
No problem. That's pretty exciting racing here, as we see from Sharp and Jagboy. So, Jagboy probably wants to file that one away for later. And I think, Sharp trying to use him up there to win the stage. So, Sharp needs all these playoff points, all these stage points that he can get with missing some of these races. So, but, at what cost? We'll see how it costs him here heading forward.
As Sharp is going to win stage 2, Jagboy is going to come home P2. Looks like Lights is in 3rd, NARL Lewis in 4th, and Robster is going to round out your top 5 here in stage number 2.
And that's an interesting point. I did not know he was out in the middle ocean at work. I know he did that for work, but I didn't know he was working. So yeah, we'll have to see if stage 3 his internet can hold up.
As he leads them to green here in our final stage tonight. Final stage is 48 laps. Still caution free. Fuel window is 32 to 34 laps. So without a caution, they will have to pit here in the final stage. As the 8 of LD Allen caught the wall coming out of turn number 2. He's going to lose some spots heading down the backstretch. As we are 3 wide here for about 7th place. Guys are fighting hard. As the 22 and the 5 are still going at it. Still exchanging bumpers. We're going to cycle back up through to them because they are having the most exciting battle on the track right now.
Yeah, if I'm Jag Boy, I probably would have saved that move until the end of the race, but use it up now, so now we're even, I think, moving forward.
All right. Well, here's where some strategy can come into play. Final stage is 48 laps. Like I said, fuel window is 32 to 34 laps. So that is it's about a 16-lap window there. Kyle, I know you're big on strategy. Would you pit as soon as your fuel window opens? Like just short pit here? Would you kind of split the stage in half? Or maybe, just maybe, pit very late at the very end of your window? Maybe take 2 tires, maybe take 4 and ride it out to the end?
Yeah, it really depends on how the tire wear is doing here, how the track is, where the pack is. Is it really sprung out? If it's pretty sprung out, I would come in. I would get 4 tires. I wouldn't mess around with 2, or even try to top it off. I would try to get 4 tires and try to run that gap back down and try to win it with the fresher tires. If the gap is pretty close, I wouldn't pit till at least very latest, because the caution could come out. You never know. So.
All right. Well, Williams, I just mentioned to K-Bart about strategy. This is one of our trickiest pit roads that you're going to see on this game and on the schedule. You got an access road, not only for exit but on entry as well. And there's not really a speed limit line per se that you come up on. So you think that's going to play a factor in who's going to win this race?
I absolutely think it will play a factor. I think there is, Mark, I don't know if anybody's figured it out yet. I'm not going to share my details tomorrow, but yes, I think it will play a factor here. There is no line that sets pit road speed. You have to kind of do the research. You have to kind of figure that out yourself. I don't know if any of these guys have tested enough to know that. I do think Jagboy knows where that line's at. I don't know why, but moving on.
All right, well, 4 of the 5 guys that finished in the top 6 last season here at Gateway are currently in the top.
Oh, sharp at the bag leg.
Wow, I was going to say they are currently in the top 5 here tonight. All 4 of them. So the cream's really rising to the top. As the 5 car had a really bad lag yet again with his hot spot glitching out. But the top 2 have really checked away from 3rd on back, as Lights Out is currently underneath the 89 of Robster for 3rd. Our runner-up finisher here last season, Lights Out. Looking to get 1 spot better here in season number 2. Robster's going to make the move on him here in turns 1 and open the door for Lewis to look underneath. A little bit of a door coming up out of the corner. 76 is going to take 4th place, and OG Infa is looking to come through for 5th.
Just want to say, Gator, I'm impressed with these Xfinity guys at this point. Last year this race was a disaster. To this point, I think it's been a great race.
Absolute disaster, as we mentioned before the race. It was just caution after caution. Couldn't get a rhythm. Everybody just running over each other, but these guys have really improved upon it. The quality of your racing here tonight has been exceptional so far. So let's hope that remains the same as we're in the final stage here in the North American eRacing League's Xfinity Series at Worldwide Technology Raceway, otherwise known as Gateway. Don't have a stream to tell you how many laps are left, but
roughly 25. I've been counting.
Roughly 25 left.
Shout out 7.
Yes. Good point. Since we don't have any live streams from our drivers right now, 7:04, this would be a good opportunity to put in a ticker for us to watch here in the booth as we commentate and spectate this race with our viewers. Please give us a ticker, lap counter, something, anything to help us for NASCAR Heat 5, which comes out here in a couple months. As the 2 looks back underneath the 0-1 here, maybe gave him a little bit of a bump, but let him have the position back.
Looks like Jaguar got a fence a little bit, getting out of Ford there. But these guys that I think Jaguar now, So we talked about pit strategy earlier, short pitting, blah, blah, blah. I think, the pit strategy is between the 5 and the 22. Who makes the first move?
Who makes the first move? Especially with that, if Jag Boy, I'd almost want to come down before the 5 car, because I don't want to give that 5 car that advantage and then possibly his lag kind of affect me coming up out of the pits if I end up behind him. So I'd probably want to pit first if I was Jag. But we'll see what he does.
It looks like Jag is kind of trying to break the draft down these straightaways. Don't call me crazy, but see, right there, he's marking about half. Yeah, he's each straightaway. He looks like he's getting about halfway down. Just trying to break that draft.
One of our viewers here, you already heard in the chat, saying that 89 car of Robster is coming. Joe, you are correct. He has trimmed the lead down here just a little bit. That deficit has shrunk. Our 43 driver, Robster, looking to pick up his first career win tonight. Has closed it down just a little bit. Followed by NR Lewis in 4th place. Is keeping in tow as well.
Battle for lead.
Battle for the lead. Sharp is underneath the 22 of Jagboy. Sharp is still twitching on the stream here, which indicates that he is still lagging a little bit, as he is underneath the 22 of Jagboy. Not going to be able to pull the pass off. Jagboy holds on to the lead. He's going to stretch that gap coming out of turn number 2. Sharp did not have the best turns 1 and 2. Jagboy's going to get that gap a little bit back.
So Gator, it looks like whoever's running second and first, the second car looks like it could be overdriving turn 1 a little bit, so that kind of gives the advantage to the lead car. But as Sharp inside of Jagboy here,
he is looking back inside of the 22 cars. They head off into corner number 1. We're looking from the nose of Jagboy back at Sharp, Robster, and Lewis here. Now Sharp looks to get a really good run off the corner. Jagboy almost connects with the wall. He's going to be able to keep it off. They're side by side coming down the back stretch. And going into 3, Sharp's going to drive it in there deep. Jagboy's going to let off a little bit early, try to get a good drive off. He's going to get to the bumper. This is where you might worry about that lag a little bit. Off into turn number 1. Ooh, as Robster hits the wall in the back. Jagboy gets a good run off. He's underneath the 5 car again. Top 2 cars swapping the lead back and forth.
You got Lewis in 3rd now. Probably wants to see these top 2 guys fighting it out so you can try to catch them before they have to pit.
NR Lewis, our Cup Series regular, who you will see here at Gateway tomorrow night, has driven his way up to 3rd place in that black and blue 76 Toyota Supra.
yeah, at this point, Gator, I'm looking. If I'm Jagboy, I might be thinking about pitting early. Looks like Sharp has a little bit of better car on the long run here. Kind of with laggy internet. I think I want to pit. Oh, there he goes.
A little bit of lag there. That might have caught Jag just a little bit. If I'm Jag and I see that 5 car in front of me, right now is probably when I'm going to think about pitting. Try to gain some top track time and position here on the 5 car. As that 5 car is lagging really bad. I don't know where that 5 car is at, but he's riding the wall right now.
Oh my gosh! Oh!
Wow. I'm going to go ahead and send a PS message to Sharp right now. That way it pops up on his screen.
That was worse than a gator lag, just saying. Oh, man.
All right. Hopefully he gets notifications in-game, because the message has gone through that he is lagging really bad right now.
It's like a number 1 lag there.
Goodness gracious, that was super bad. as we saw him hit the wall in turn 3 and 4, do a donut, and shoot back up to the lead. It's comical for us here in the booth, but I know on the track right now, those other drivers, they are scared to death. As now the 76 of NR Lewis has moved up to second place, and he's got that 5 car in front of him, looking ahead at it twitching back and forth.
To me, if you're dealing with a lag car, you move them.
You have a fair point there. If Lewis can get close enough to that 5 car, would he move him out of the way? That way he doesn't have to deal with it. Or is Lewis going to take the high road, knowing this isn't his series, and race him clean? We will find out shortly if he can get there. As behind Lewis, we have Robster there, continuing his solid run in that 89 car in P3. Jaguar is falling back to P4 with some of that contact from the 5, and it looks like we've got OG Infa in 5th place. That's going to round out your top 5. They've got a pretty big gap over 6th place. Still nobody has ducked down into the pits yet. So it looks like they're all going to ride it out to the end of their window. Let's go on board with OG and look ahead at these guys in front. It's kind of been sneaky right here around 5th place tonight. Hasn't been too much higher, hasn't been too much lower. Just kind of stayed out of trouble. Just riding here tonight. Real quiet out of the points leader coming into this race. Tied for the points lead with Jackboy. As Jackboy hits the wall hard coming out of turn number 4. OG's going to get underneath of him here for 4th place. He's going to take that spot. Jackboy's looking to pull an over-under there on OG and get back underneath, but he's not going to be able to do so. He's going to fall back to 5th. So one of our fastest drivers here, Jackboy, is back to 5th place. Let's see what he can do with pit stops looming. So we've now got a gap between 3rd and 4th place. All right, Williams, who's going to be the first to duck down pit lane?
To me, it's got to be Jackboy. I think Jackboy with that damage, he's going to have to be the first one to come down.
There he is, right on cue. You called it. The 22 of Jackboy is coming into the pits. There you see him on that access road. Looked like a clean entry for the 22 Ford. Is that going to dictate what these other leaders do? Are they going to follow him down pit lane this lap, or are they going to stay out for some more?
Well, if I'm sharp and I'm lagging, I'm staying out as long as I can, sir. Oh, here comes Sharp.
As the leader of the race, 5 car Sharp is on pit lane. He goes out through the grass, collects it. That might have been lag, I don't know. But he collects it, he makes the pit lane entry. Tricky pit lane. Dalton's on pit lane, Hostium's on pit lane, Young Colt's on pit entry. Jackboy's on pit exit. Tricky access roads here, he comes off cleanly. LD Allen on pit lane. Robster and OG stay out another lap. Interesting strategy here for these guys. I wish we had a stream right now to tell you how many laps are left.
Yeah,
and
who's running
there's where.
About 10 to go. I kind of lost count, and Sharp had that big leg there, so
yeah,
kind of forgot about counting.
Robster, who had assumed the lead, is now on the access road on pit entry, looking to come in for his final stop of the night. OG stays out another lap in the 0-1 car. See how long the 0-1 car hangs out on the racetrack. He's definitely on a different strategy than everybody else. This might be the one driver that rides it all the way to the end and takes two, maybe even none, but a splash of fuel. So how far is OG going to stretch it? How's that pizza treating you, Kyle? I'm kind of jealous.
It was fantastic. I got the big family box. Ate probably about a quarter of it or a third of it. Gonna eat the rest tomorrow. So
all right, as an OG in that pizza-colored car, Flex Glue, he's gonna come down pit lane here. Oh, he makes a mistake. Almost hit the inside wall. That's gonna cost him a bunch of time. As we're gonna go find Jagboy. He was our first on pit lane. Where's he at? There he is. Looks like the 5 is still up ahead. The 5 is still ahead of the 22 car. As the 01 is still on pit lane. Mr. Williams has left for the party.
probably wants to go find out how many laps are to go.
That is a very good point.
You said the last stage was 34 laps, right? 3-4?
The last stage was 48 laps. The
48?
window, yep, 48. Fuel window was 32 to 34. So Williams might be going to a different party to find out some information for us. So we'll hold tight on that. As I believe the 5 car Sharp is still in the lead here. After that cycle of green flag stops. He's got a big lead over the 22 car.
16 to go.
16 to go. According to K-Bart. Don't know where he's getting these numbers from.
I got a message.
All right, message 16 to go here. We'll try to keep track of it manually for you guys. As we got a good battle back here between OG Info and the 9 of Dalton. OG's going to have a little bit fresher tires. He's going to look underneath of that 9 car. As the 01 is looking ahead at the 89 of Robster, trying to run him down for position. He's going to clear that 9.
Ooh, Jagboy lagging for me? Or am I lagging?
Let's go find
Is there
out.
caution? No.
There is no caution.
14 to go. Sharp is your leader.
Sharp is the leader, 14 to go. As Williams went and snooped and found some information for us. So we are coming to 13 to go here with the 5 car. Big lead over the 22 as the 22 tries to get around some lap traffic.
Wow.
I assume that's lap traffic. Unless Young Colt really played a bold pit strategy. He's running in second place right now. As the 22 does clear the 19. As the 22 is back up to P2. Followed closely by the 76 of NR Lewis. It's going to be 12 to go here at the line. Sharp with about a half a straightaway lead over these guys. Can you foresee any of these guys running them down, or is Sharp just out there cruising for a win?
I think Sharp's kind of lag kind of solidifies him being up front here, but no, even with that whole straightaway gap that they got, I think he's pretty much in cruise control here.
Cruise control mode for the 5-car Sharp, looking to pick up his second victory of the season. His first victory, let's see, his first victory, oddly enough, came on a track that's very similar to this one, New Hampshire. So he must like these long, flat tracks. The driver in that number 5, as well as a little bit of a lag. But don't take anything away from that 5-car because of the lag. He was fast all night here.
He absolutely was. He was on rails for the whole first stage, no lag. So you can't take anything away from him, absolutely.
As we hate to see lag in this game, but it is a part of it. But Sharp was one of the fastest cars here tonight. So it's not like lag totally earned him this victory. As we got a battle brewing here in second place. These guys are all over each other. Jagboy and NR Lewis. A couple of Rocket League buddies. Let's go find Lewis here. There he is. We're going to watch from behind Jagboy, see what kind of moves Lewis can make as we're here about 8 or 9 to go.
What is Rocket League?
Rocket League is a game with cars and boost and soccer balls. So, if you can imagine cars on our soccer field using jet-propelled engines, that's kind of Rocket League for you. So, Sharp would fit in perfectly with his jet-propelled lag.
Okay, I muted myself because I was getting ready to snort again.
So Williams muted himself for a second. I'm going to tell our viewers anyways, because that's a funny story. If you guys watch the All-Star race here in the North American eRacing League Season 2, Williams decided he was going to snort in the middle of the broadcast and made for the one of the more enjoyable and finer moments here in our broadcasting of Season number 2. Very, very, very good times there.
I have no comment.
Very embarrassing for Williams, but enjoyable for everybody else who was watching and watched that stream back. As we are down to about 5 to 6 to go here, the 22 and the 76 are still fighting hard for second place, but the 5 has just checked out on these guys. So, barring any lag out or accident from the 5, we're looking for a battle here on second place right here between the 22 and the 76.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. As I'm sure Sharp is going to say if he gets a post-race interview. As Sir Champion is in the chat saying he bets Rocket League has a ticker so you know who's winning. Jim, you're absolutely right. Lieutenant Crunch, Sir Champion. Jim, you are correct. Rocket League does have a ticker so you know who has the most points and who scored all the goals. And you can bet Gator Mike is never on the top of that leaderboard.
I never played Rocket League, so I can tell you.
It's very frustrating. Because you get guys like our third place runner here, NR Lewis, who tries to troll you on Rocket League and blow your car up every chance he gets. You can't.
Is that as frustrating as Wreckfest?
Wreckfest, the point is to blow people up, so no, not as frustrating as Wreckfest. As we have 2 to 3 laps to go here in the North American eRacing League's Xfinity Series from Gateway. Jagboy is still holding off NR Lewis for second place. There's a dot way up there in front of these guys. That is your leader, Sharp. As we will go find Sharp here with these very few laps remaining. Your leader, you see everybody fighting in the back there. You already heard in the chat, Mr. Williams, he wants to know if Matt Kenseth is a bum. Can you elaborate on that?
Matt Kenseth is absolutely a bum.
Your 10th place finisher in the Cup race tonight, Matt Kenseth, you heard it here from Williams first, is a bum.
You
Sorry.
took a car that has led the most laps at Darlington the past 3 races and finished 10th with it.
Matt, if you're watching the North American eRacing League, which is probably unlikely, we apologize. But we like to share our opinions here on the stream.
We're not apologizing for your...
Williams thinks you're a bum, but K-Bart is your biggest fan. So we're splitting the booth here. As Sharp he's got to be on 1 to go at this point. As Joe is in the trap, stirring things up.
Big Jim even said Matt Kenseth is fresh off of a 3-year vacation, still got a top 10. Not 3 years, but half that. But
as we've got a 4-car battle for second place, as Sharp is
just a Cup champion.
Out.
A Cup champion is supposed to be Cup champion.
Well, you saw a 7-time Cup champion today make a huge mistake coming out of turn 2 and cost him the race. So we had that happen in the race today.
And everyone blamed the other car. It's like, no.
As a Robster is looking inside the 22 car for second place, as we are still live here. Oh, the 22 hard in the wall. I don't know what happened there, if there was a little bit of contact from the 89 or if the 22 got loose, but he hit the wall hard. That's going to cost him 3 positions here at the end of this race. The 22 of Robster is around for P2. The 76 of NR Lewis is P3, and OG Info right now is P4. As it looks like we are still going here. Still got some extra laps left in this thing. Jagboy awfully close to that wall again.
Shout out 704.
Shout out 704. Something's wrong with the 22 car, guys. He keeps hitting the wall down the back stretch. Something has happened to that 22 car.
Sharp just won the race.
He's dropped way off. Ooh, something is bad wrong with the 22. The 22 car Jagboy had some severe difficulties at the end of that thing as the number 5, Sharp, picks up your 2nd win this season for him here in the North American eRacing League's Xfinity Series.
Robster finishing 2nd, is that correct?
Robster in P2 for his best career finish in the North American eRacing League.
I'm not the party host anymore, but
I know.
Yep. K-Bart's going to have to send invites to our winners. Jagboy hangs on for P5. Probably a little bit frustrated after that. Still a solid finish, though. He's going to take the points lead solely from OG Info, who's going to hold on to 2nd place in the points.
I am not friends with Robster, by the way.
All right, we will suggest Robster to you here, K-Bart. As we are waiting for our winner, Sharp, to join the booth here for his post-race interview. Fastest lap tonight went to LD Allen with a 33.197, so that 8 car had some speed in it. We're going to go ahead and back out of this thing. So caution-free tonight, guys. That's a drastic difference from last season, as we are joined by last season's P5 driver and winner here tonight, Sharp 24. How you feeling after that?
Feeling pretty good there. Interesting race, to say the least.
Yep, that is your 2nd career victory here in the North American eRacing League. And oddly enough, comes on a track that was similar to your first, New Hampshire. So you just got something for these flat mile tracks here, or they kind of fit your style?
Man, it was all about just hitting my marks there and just trying to get into a rhythm, try to find the best line to run, and as the race went along, just tried to make adjustments, fine-tune on the car, and I hit on something, and man, had a great battle with Jagboy there, and man, felt really bad about the whole lag situation there. I really hope it cleared up as the race went on after that situation came up, but man, it was hell of a race running against him there. It could have gone to either one of us there, and well, at the end of the day, just really hyped up. I was able to get a 2nd win on the season.
Yeah, his lag may have played a determining factor on that. We will never know, but you definitely had one of the fastest cars here tonight, so don't let the lag get you down. You definitely were able to put yourself in winning position, so congratulations on your second win here on the season.
Mm-hmm.
In the booth with me, I've got K-Bart. K-Bart, what kind of question do you have for our winner here tonight?
Hey, man, congrats. Stage one, man. We really noticed how maybe not you weren't the fastest car, but you're the more consistent car. Did you get a lot of practice for this track, or have you had a lot of practice in prior races for this race? Or did New Hampshire really help you out running the New Hampshire race and winning that race for winning this race?
Yeah, it's a good question, and actually, just kind of took notes off of the New Hampshire win, just kind of getting into the corner easy and just trying to get the best run off of the corner. And other than Gateway last season, man, I ran the practice with the guys last night, the warm-up race, and that was about it. But just as the race went along, I just got into a rhythm there, just was really hitting my marks, just letting the car get into the corner very easy and just letting it drop down to the bottom and then just gassing it off, as best I could and holding a steady line. And after that pit stop, I really felt like I had enough of a gap. I was just able to hit my marks and just cruise there. So really, really good car tonight.
Gotcha. And just to point out, you're at work, aren't you?
Yeah, so it feels good to be able to win one while I'm at work.
Yeah. Where are you located at work right now?
I'm actually in the Mississippi River, right by New Orleans.
In
Okay.
the Mississippi River right by New Orleans. I don't know if any of your coworkers watched you win that race tonight, but congratulations again. Also in the booth with me, I've got Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, what you got for our winner here tonight at Gateway?
Oh, I got nothing. I just want to hear Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. And Coach O for that ass.
There you go. You got the Go Tigers from our resident Coach O here in the North American eRacing League, and your Gateway winner tonight, Sharp 24. Before we let you get out of here, Sharp, is there anybody that you want to shout out?
Once again, just a shout out to all the guys in the league. You, Gator, Williams, K-Bart, for always putting on a good show in the commentators booth for us there. Really gets me hyped up at race time right before we go green there. Not really paying attention to that during race time, but all the guys in the league is a lot of fun running with these guys. My boys, the IDL, LDL, and Lights, the guys that were in my chat party, really helping me out with some adjustments, and it all paid off tonight.
All right, well, there you heard it. Your winner tonight, his second win on this season, second career win in total, Sharp 24. Congratulations, and we will see you next time out at Pocono, hopefully, on Wednesday. So have
Hope
a good
so,
night there,
guys.
my friend.
Hope so, guys. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, we're going to go blue screen here for a minute so I can suggest Robster to the party, our runner-up finisher here tonight. You won't be able to hear K-Bart or Williams as I do this. But let's go see if we can't find Robster. All right. We are almost there. There he is. Confirm. Robster is our runner-up here. He has been suggested to the
Nice.
party. So, your winner tonight, straight from the Mississippi River, on a boat next to New Orleans, Sharp. Impressive run for him tonight. We're going to speak with your runner-up, who has he battled the whole race here tonight. Robster worked his way up through the whole field to come home with his career best finish of P number 2. As we are joined here in the booth by your runner-up, Robster. Career best finish tonight. How you feeling after that race?
Oh man, pretty good. It was definitely a fun race. Didn't really know what to expect. Didn't get a lot of practice beforehand, but had a fast hot rod and was able to work my way front there at the end. So it was a lot of fun.
Definitely, you worked your way up through the field to come home with your career best finish here in the North American eRacing League's Xfinity Series. So we got to think that win is coming. But how did you work your way from the back to the front in that race?
Yeah, well, ran a little bit tighter setup than I'd like to normally, but it was definitely faster towards the end of the run. So give up a little bit at the beginning to gain some back at the end, and kind of paid off there in the last 5 or 10 laps. I was able to run some of those guys down, and it was some tight racing there. I think I might have gotten into Jag Boy a little bit there for P2, but I was trying to hold it down as much as I could. It was just car was snappy loose there towards the end. Pull it off.
All right, as some of the guys in the chat say they can't hear your voice, so I don't know if you've got it unshareable right now. But if you want to check on that real quick, I'll go check on our legal notes here. That way we don't get sued for anything. All right, there's our legal notes. We're going to scroll through those as Robster figures out his voice, making sure that is shareable for you guys. Robster, I don't know if you know how to do that, but it's through the party screen on the home screen. It's player settings, I believe, or audio sharing settings, and you just go in there and you click allow voice to be shared.
Party. So you go to party settings on the right side. You click on that and you scroll down. Allowed your voice to be shared. Always allow.
All right, I should be good now.
All right, so I'm going to ask you the same question. How were you able to work your car from the back to the front tonight to get a P2 finish?
Yeah, I ran a little bit tighter setup than I'd like to, but it was definitely faster towards the end of the run, so I was able to give up a little bit towards the beginning to gain some at the end, and it kind of paid off there in the last 5 or 10 laps. I was able to make some gains on those guys and get P2 there towards the end. So.
All right, well, there you heard it from your P2 runner-up. Ran a little bit tighter setup tonight and was able to work his way up through the front. Tonight, Robster in the booth with me, I've got K-Bart. K-Bart, what kind of a question do you have for our runner-up finisher tonight?
Hey man, I just want to say congratulations. You're pretty quiet there at in the first stage, and the second stage, all of a sudden, I saw Morgan Shepherd Racing for Jesus car coming right up, and it stayed up there really consistently. How well did you? I know you had a tight car, but it's not like I said to Sharp. It's not being always fast here. It's more consistent. How did you get more of a consistent car compared to Ellers?
Yeah, well, I didn't get a ton of practice in this week, so I was kind of going on a green racetrack. So that first stage, I was kind of trying to feel my car out, made some minor adjustments there going into the second stage, and just kind of played it a little more conservative than I normally do. I tend to kind of push my car to the edge, and it's bitten me a couple times this year. So I just tried to run consistent, and paid off. I was there at the end and was able to make up some spots and finish P2.
All right, as I'm also joined in the booth tonight by another Cup Series regular, Mr. Williams. What do you got for our runner-up tonight?
Hey, man, I ain't got much. Just congratulations. And, after tonight's run, how do you feel moving forward for the rest of the season? Do you feel confident? Do you, kind of tonight was kind of a one-off, or how are you feeling?
Yeah, I definitely feel more confident. I'd had some good runs earlier in the year, but just could never seem to take home the finish, and this was kind of the first time I've been able to put a full race together. So I think it definitely gives me some confidence going into the latter part of the year, and I'm a little bit out from the playoff cutoff line, but maybe if I put together some more good runs, I can at least make it interesting.
10-4, brother. Well, congratulations on your second place finish, and go to the next one.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, as we're about to let Robster on out of here so he can continue on with his evening. Before we let you go there, is there anybody you want to shout out for your runner-up finisher here tonight?
Oh, man. Everybody I was racing up front tonight, it was a lot of fun. Also need to shout out Big Jim. He's the one that kind of got me in this league. We were in just a public lobby together, ended up hanging out a little bit and brought me in the league, and appreciate him bringing me to you guys. So, yeah.
All right, there it is, your runner-up finisher tonight. His career best finish in the North American eRacing League. Building momentum, things are looking up. Robster, congratulations on your P2 run, and you have a good night, my friend.
All right, appreciate it. You guys too. Take it easy.
All right, as we're looking at on the screen right now, if you have not pre-ordered NASCAR Heat 5, go ahead and do so, because the North American eRacing League is going to be swapping over to NASCAR Heat 5 for season number 3. So make sure you pick it up and join us for Season 3. If you guys, myself, Gator Mike 89, you can hit up KBart 20 or even Mr. Williams 923 here on PS4. Just hit one of us up and give us a little shout out, and we'll see what we can do about getting you in for season number 3 here in the North American eRacing League. So there's that. All right, guys. I guess down to the end of this broadcast here, what did you see tonight out of the Xfinity guys at Gateway? K-Bart, if you want to start.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, the biggest thing was more consistency, and just watching this race, I learned a lot for myself for tomorrow's race. You know, it's gonna be inaugural. We didn't race this race last year in the Cup Series, and I'm excited to race here. I'm not a big fan of New Hampshire. Hate how you guys put that in my mind. Hey, this kind of runs like New Hampshire, but I didn't do too bad at New Hampshire. You just gotta get in that consistent mode, and that's what my goal is going to be tomorrow night.
All right, Williams. Did you take anything out of tonight that you can use for tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. I didn't take nothing out of what I'm going to use for tomorrow, but tune in tomorrow. So I think tomorrow's going to be wild with all them Cup drivers on there. We have a hard time lifting. So if you want to see some action, tune in tomorrow.
All right. As the North American eRacing League Cup Series tomorrow visits Gateway for the very first time. So make sure to tune in for that. It's going to be a 100-lapper tomorrow night. All your favorite Cup drivers are going to be there, including myself, K-Bart, and Williams. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Our top 5 finishers from this evening, though, you got Sharp with the win. Robster came home second. N.R. Lewis, P3. OG Infa in fourth. And Jagboy rounded out your top 5 for the Xfinity Series. Next time you see them on track will be Wednesday night. They're going to be heading to Sir Champion's favorite track, Pocono. So tune in for that. Caution-free event tonight. Good racing. Everything we could ask for out of a wonderful Sunday evening here in the North American eRacing League Xfinity Series. So thanks for everybody for tuning in from K-Bart, Mr. Williams, and myself. Thanks, guys. We will catch you next time we go live for the Xfinity Series Wednesday night. Have a good
Wash
night.
your hands.